When I was in high school, I used to be very OCD about picking all of the nicks in my body, my ears and my nose. I always felt unclean about my nose and my ear being jammed up. And one time when I was doing that, picking my nose, I sneezed. And I discovered I could make myself sneeze on command, and I really used it as a life hack. Anytime I wanted somebody to get away from me, I would sneeze. I used to live out of my car, and I had a favorite place to hang out, and I always kept very good hygiene, even when I was living out of my car. A lot of people don't, and that's the big problem. They really ruin it for people who do it elegantly. A lot of people didn't even know I live in my car. That's how I did it. I know that because people would often be interested in meeting up with me at my home, or they would talk in a way that assumed that I had another place. Anyways, I was hanging out at this dining area of a grocery store when this guy comes in very badly dressed and smelling really badly. And I wanted to reclaim that space. So one time when he was sitting really close to me, and there were a lot of people in the dining area, so I felt safe doing that. I picked my nose and I sneezed, and so there's a huge cloud of my saliva all over. I wouldn't recommend doing this year, obviously, but back then it was a lot more acceptable, and I felt pretty safe about him beating me up or anything because there were so many people around me. And he stood up, gave me the middle finger, and stormed out of there, and I didn't see him for quite a while. Unfortunately, it didn't work out very well. Not long after that, the store we were hanging out, they made their place really uncomfortable. That's a pretty common scene in Seattle. Not so much here in the Rockies, but in Seattle, over the last couple of years, before we couldn't even go to the dining room anymore, the last couple of years, a lot of the stores have become incredibly uncomfortable. Their Wi-Fi will stop working randomly. The temperature is always uncomfortable. Noise levels, you name it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of psychologist on the payroll on how to make the store uncomfortable to get people to leave. I was on an airplane one time when the guy in front of me reclined his seat really sharply, like really fast, almost like he was on a mission to hurt somebody. Fortunately, he did it like in the one moment where I wouldn't have gotten hurt. I just happened to reposition myself, just happened to, but I was very upset that he would do something like that. So after he had his seat down, I positioned myself so that I was facing the crack behind the seat, and I made myself sneeze. And sure enough, he put his seat back, and that was good. Sometimes when I needed to call out of work sick, and I would be calling my boss, I would start the call with picking my nose and sneezing, and then explaining that I had allergies or whatever. Anyways, it's a life hack, but I wouldn't recommend you use it for at least a few more years for obvious reasons. But it can come in handy when you need to act sick or you need to get people to social distance from you, right? Thanks for watching.